Hello and welcome. And thank you so much for joining us. And what we're here to share with you today is a really grounded understanding of the Inca tradition and the wisdom that it has to offer us in these times. There are some beautiful teachings around human evolution and around the part that we can play in that, the active role that we as individuals and as humans in groups can play towards human evolution on our planet at this time right now. I'm really delighted to welcome Ellen Kittredge, my colleague, who is going to introduce you to our speaker today, Elizabeth Jenkins. Ellen.
Thank you so much, Deb. This is Deborah Diglin, who is my beautiful colleague and sister and friend. And I would like to introduce to you all Elizabeth Jenkins, who is a teacher of the 4th level, which is a series of initiatory practices and experiences that are connected to the Indian nature traditions, specifically the Inca traditions that have been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. So Elizabeth has been teaching and offering this work for over 32 years, I believe, at this point, and she's a true master of this work, and we are so happy to be here with you and have you dip into some of the incredibly deep wisdom and offerings as Deb and I have had the joy to do over the last 4 years. So Elizabeth, will pass it off to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies. It is a joy to be here with you and such a pleasure to be meeting with you, and I'm deeply grateful for this opportunity to speak to you about the global ops preparation, which is what this recording is all about. It's going to give you, what I'm going to do is first give you the background in the Inca tradition, a very simple foundational overview, and then I'm going to be talking to you about the levels of psycho-spiritual development of the Andean tradition, and then I'm going to tell you about the Inca Prophecy, which is what Deb and Ellen were both talking about, the meaning in these times for what is going on and how we can participate and affect change and affect real evolution on our planet right now. After I give you that beautiful large-scale kind of macro view, I'm going to take us back into the practices, the literal steps that allow us to get there. So not only do we have this glorious, grandiose, huge, beautiful vision about the future, but we have these actual practical steps on how to get there. And then I'm going to talk to you finally in the end about how that all corresponds back to the prophecy. So hopefully this will be, I have some diagrams to show you, and hopefully this will be very clear. And Deb and Ellen will help out with questions if they will remind me so kindly of what might be unclear to folks. So, because they're listening with those very acute ears. So wonderful. So I want to start off by telling you all that we're talking about the Andean mystical tradition, or the nature wisdom tradition of the Incas. It's thousands and thousands of years old. Some people say it dates back to 16,000 years ago, with the first civilizations in the Andes. The Inca capital of Cusco in Peru, Cusco in the ancient language, is the longest continuously inhabited city in the Western Hemisphere. So it's a really ancient place with super ancient wisdom about humans and nature. The first thing I want to talk to you about is the Kausai Pacha, which is the world of living energies. Simply said, the Incas held the view that we currently understand through modern physics, that everything around us is made of living energy. Plants, trees, mountains, humans, buildings, cars, clouds, the heavens, everything is made of living energy. And this is the medium through which we can interact with the world and literally communicate with nature, because While nature does not have human consciousness, nature has its own consciousness. And we all share living energy, so we can communicate through what the Incas described as our bubble, our field of living energy, simply put. In this world of living energy, there is no such thing as positive and negative or good or bad living energy. Just as in the natural world, there's no good or evil plants or animals. Everything is useful if it's in its proper place and doing the thing it was designed to do. So the one law in the tradition of living energy practice is called Aini, and that means sacred reciprocity. So all of these nature and human exchanges happen through the giving and receiving of living energy. And this will become apparent to you as I go on and talk to you about the levels and how we use the practices and how we develop our practice as Paqos to evolve ourselves and our world to the next step. You can see it in the simple act of breathing. We drink in oxygen that's made for us by the trees and the plants, and we exhale carbon dioxide that's breathed in by them in this sacred exchange that is the basis. It's a life-giving exchange, it's the basis of life. Without oxygen, we would not be around too long. And we are biologically designed to cooperate with nature in this most very foundational way that literally our life depends on this sacred exchange. So that the entire Inca tradition is based on the wisdom of nature and this law of sacred exchange that begins with our breath. Okay, so the Incas posit 7 levels of psycho-spiritual development, and these levels are defined by literally how we identify ourselves, and for them literally means how we resonate our field of living energy. And I'm just going to show you a diagram here to help us understand this a bit. So here we have a diagram. Can you see that? All right. Oh, sure. There we go. All right. So this is our first diagram, and it shows the entire planetary body. And it shows these 4 levels. As you can see, the first level is when we're born, and we identify with our mother and father, our human mother and father. And in the Andean tradition, we also have a nature mom and nature dad, as you can see on the right and left and right sides of the lower part of this image. So in our village, or our ayu in the Inca language, we identify and resonate our bubble of living energy with our village, our family, our human group, and all the nature beings that inhabit that locale. As we grow and our bubble begins to expand, or if we can think of it from a Western point of view, we leave our small town and we go to our nearest city. Say I'm in Sausalito and I go to San Francisco. So I resonate my bubble first with the beautiful old fishing village of Sausalito. This is my home. These are my nature beings, my human family, my human group. I go to San Francisco one day and I go, oh wow, I'm part of a much bigger human group and a much bigger area of geography. I'm related to these mountains and this beautiful bay and this huge human group of people that inhabit San Francisco. And then as we continue to grow up and evolve, we one day come to recognize that we're part of a nation called the United States or England or Sweden or Brazil or Peru or any of those nations. We resonate our bubble literally with our entire country, all of us who share the same language and a similar set of values, possibly, probably. And this is the third level of the Andean tradition. So if you think about resonating your entire energy field with your nation, that's no small feat. That's quite powerful. And we don't think of it in our culture, but in the Andean culture, the initiatory level of the third level literally means you can speak to all the nature beings that inhabit that nation, that area of geography, that living energy field. The fourth level initiation has to do with coming into a global resonance, literally resonating our bubbles with our entire planetary body and the living energy and living beings of this entire planet, which is quite a big step from our nations. I think that we can see how our modern society is kind of at that third level, which for the Incas is considered a spiritual adolescence, right? Nothing wrong with it, but we just don't want to get stuck there. So to move on to the fourth level, in Peru, we literally undergo an initiation where we go into a cave, release the hucha of the heavy energies of our lifetime, release them, offer them to Mother Earth, and we receive Mother Earth as our true mother, as our main mother, and Father Sun as our dad. So this makes every human being literally our brother or our sister. So if you can imagine, this is not a spiritual platitude, this is a lived experience. So how many of us are able to really go out in the world and treat every other human as our brother or our sister in a literal way? Well, we have few examples on the planet. We have the Dalai Lama, who constantly says the Chinese are our brothers and sisters, no matter what. We have Mother Teresa, who went out into the street and picked up all the hungry and poor people out of that love of these are my brothers and my sisters. So the full development of the fourth level is quite an expanded state. The principal practice of the fourth level is called Huchamihui, which means I can eat and digest every and any living energy on planet Earth. There is no negative or positive. All of these energies are me and I am them, and I can therefore handle, accept, welcome, invite in all of these living energies, and I fear none of them. I reject none of them. So it's quite a developed state if you think about it. And I can say, speaking for myself, I am in the fourth level initiation, which means beginning. So I received the fourth level initiation, my goodness, 25 years ago-ish, 26 years ago. And I'm working on it. And I'm inviting other people to work on it with me, and that's what we're doing here. So that's up to the fourth level. Let me just show you a diagram. The fifth, sixth, and seventh levels are, let's see. Here we go. The fifth, sixth, and seventh levels are where we literally can resonate our bubble with the entire solar system, as you see here. It's called the fifth level, and according to the Inca Prophecies, it means that we will have initiates that, let me just say that the fourth level is considered adulthood in the Inca tradition. right? Third level is kind of like a spiritual adolescence, and we're moving as a collective society from the third to the fourth level. Fourth level is adulthood. Fifth, sixth, and seventh are much more advanced levels. So the fifth level, Paco, or initiate, is able to resonate their energetic body with the entire solar system family. So all of our planetary bodies, moons, everything within the reach, the gravitational field of the sun. So that's quite a next step. The sixth level, as you can see in this diagram, is to resonate with our entire galactic field. And the seventh level is called Taitanchis Ranti, which means equivalent of God or goddess on earth. So as you can see, these are very advanced levels. The sixth level was thought to be present in the Inca Empire. It's the level of the very enlightened leader. The leadership that generally is a couple. In the Inca Empire, it was a royal couple who was able to lead the people and live in a society that was completely integrated with nature in a harmonious way. But we can see that experiment didn't quite work out, so I think we're trying it again now. As fourth level initiates, we're working on this level of resonating with our entire planetary bubble. And let's take it back to there and talk about how can we actually do that. The Inca Prophecy says if enough people arrive to the fourth level, we can create the womb or create the energetic environment that will allow us to produce, literally, through a collective effort, allow the emergence of what they describe as the fifth level. And the fifth level initiate is someone who can heal every illness every time with a single touch. So the fifth and sixth levels were said to exist in human form 500 years ago during the time of the Inca Empire. So it's very close for the people of the Andes to have this sense of this human ability to attain these levels. We see it in other traditions. It's discussed in other traditions, these same kind of levels in different ways. But we don't have time to go into that here. But it's there if you look for it. So to achieve this, we have to go back to our good old human, regular old daily selves, human body, human being, and let's talk about the Inca energy system, because that is the key through which we can develop these abilities to resonate our bubble with larger and larger fields. So here's the picture of the Inca energy system, the 7 Inca energy eyes. As you can see, it's quite different from the chakra system of the Hindu culture, because here in the base, the Siki Nyawi, the first eye, is related with water, not earth. And I think, though there's been no, I surmise that this is because this Inca energy system comes from an older time when our tails were still in the water. So we have our tail related to the water being. So that is the living being that is the water. She's called Vilcanusta. She's a powerful, powerful force that we can literally communicate with through our bubbles. Excuse me. Okay, so that's the first eye. We have the eye is on the back side and the root is in the front. It's the only eye that looks backwards. It's in the sacrum and related to water and is considered, and it's called the black light, the nectar of the water. the living energy of the water, is what empowers this eye in our system. The next eye is called the Cosco, which is the belly eye. It's related to the earth. This is where we connect our energetic umbilical cord into Mother Earth, Pachamama, literally, and are able to exchange living energy with her, offer what needs to be released from our body, and receive her nectar. The Cosco Nyawi is the eye through which we perform the principal practice of the fourth level, which is called Huchamihui, that I described before, to eat and digest any living energy that we come in contact with. So that is how we practice being fourth level Paqos, to fear nothing, eat everything. Literally take ourselves to the top of the food chain, and no more need to react to anything. But we'll talk more about that. Let's continue with the eyes. The heart eye is the home in the body, the natural home of the living nature being that we call the sun. Incas call Inti Taita, or Father Sun. So the practice here is to open the heart and receive the golden nectar of the sun, just as we receive the red nectar of the earth into our belly eye to feed us and nourish us, and the black luminous nectar of the water into our tail eye. The fourth eye is called Kunkanyawi. It's in the throat. It's related to the wind, moon, and stars, and the silver nectars of the wind, moon, and stars. Our right and left eyes, Panya, Nyawi, Yoke Nyawi, our mystical and magical eyes, and our seventh eye, which is here, not the third. In the Inca tradition, we get 7 instead of 3. So all these eyes are related to the cosmic nectar of the cosmos, which is considered to be a purple nectar. So by using this Inca energy system, by ingesting and exchanging living energies with all of the forces of nature, and harmonizing our physical body with these beautiful natural forces, we not only amplify our energetic immune system, but we amplify our ability to expand our bubble, to literally resonate with larger fields of energy. And this is considered, it's really based on what you think, what we can think about as the biophilic instinct. It was coined by Edward O. Wilson, this instinct to connect with larger living systems. And this is the evolutionary urge of every human being. This is how we go forward. Let me show you the next. We have these eyes, which are, you can also see them. They've been gloriously enshrined in the city of Cusco, in the body of the puma, when Pachacuti restructured the city. And you can see people still meet at the Puma Chupan, the tail of the puma, where there's a glorious fountain. And each one of these eyes in the city of Cusco it has a beautiful, powerful temple created to it. So you can see this energy system preserved in that. Also in Machu Picchu, where there's a round tower in the center that is the Cosco Nyawi, the belly eye of Machu Picchu. And the belly eye of Cusco City is, of course, the Coricancha, where a whole priesthood was trained to eat and digest the living energy of the entire Tawantinsuyu, the entire Inca Empire. So not only did they have garbage collectors, they had energy eaters and digesters to keep the place clean and uplifted and full of nectar, so full of sami. So the Incas were always thinking in the very structural, physical, and in the energetic levels at the same time. all their buildings show in their organic architecture. Okay, so we have all the eyes. The eyes then relate to the belts. Let me show you this next diagram here. Let's see. And here we go. So the belt, or Chumpi Avai, is the practice of opening and connecting the belts. So after you can see here in this diagram, the root of the first eye, the water eye, the Yana Chumpi, or the black belt. The root is in the front, and the eye, the larger organ, if you will, of energy, is in the sacrum. So we put our beautiful tails down in the water from this sacrum eye. We extend a beautiful tail down to connect with the water. We offer what we have in our tail, and we receive this delicious nectar of the water. And we circulate it around this belt. It's called the black belt, Yana Chumpi. And this refreshes and uplifts our energy system, and you can go through your whole body cleaning the waters of your body. And here you can see with the Cosco, the belly eye, we connect that like a energetic umbilical cord into the earth. We offer any heavier energies that may be there that need to be released, need to be recycled in the beautiful recycling project of Pachamama. And we drink in this delicious puka, or red nectar of the earth, circulate that around our waist, right, around the root and the eye, connecting those two with the puka chumpi, the red belt. As we continue our meditation upwards, we can open our heart eye to the glorious golden nectar of the sun and drink that in and circulate between the root and the eye in the front and back of this system. And this is a most magnificent practice to be able to really feed ourselves this delicious love from our big daddy in the sky. And then next we see that our throat eye is connected to this. It's the silver nectar of the wind, moon, and stars. So we open that throat eye, connect to the wind, moon, and stars, offer whatever in there, and drink in the delicious silver nectar and circulate that in the throat. And then we are able to allow these next three eyes, offer whatever's there to the cosmos and drink in the purple nectar. So that empowers all our eyes and puts us in this beautiful harmony with all of the nature that's surrounding us. Okay, so as we do that, we can become aware that our bubble has a greater power to expand. And the beautiful thing about it, I guess I want to go back to that picture again of the Chumpies, which shows us that here, our Chumpies, we can put our tail eye in the water and then put our local water near us and connect that water to the bigger bodies of water, out to the whole ocean, right? To all the living waters of the entire planetary body. And that's how we perform our global ops. So we're able to, when Paqos working together, are able to, at the same time, at a coordinated time, put our tails in the water, connect to each other, which is a glorious feeling. Connect to each other across the globe and and unite ourselves, unite our tail eyes. And when we do this, we have the added power of the collective black belt, right? Around the whole planetary body. because she has belts too, just like we have them. We have this repetition of forms going on in nature all the time. And when we connect our Cosconyawi, our belly eyes, to the earth and see how our Pachamamas related to all the other Pachamamas across the planet, and we can connect collectively with our red belt and circulate the living energy through that, it's exponentially increased. And our ability to eat hucha through our collective red belt is vastly increased. Right? And this is a practice we constantly are doing on the globe, for the last maybe couple years, working to eat the hucha, the heavy energy, from any kind of natural disasters. It's been typhoons and tsunamis and what do you call those big twirly windy things? Hurricanes. And now, of course, it's COVID-19, right? So coronavirus. And then, of course, you can imagine the field of energy that we can generate when we connect our heart eyes to the sun and join together into one great heart across the planet. And our throats, it's a magnificent and glorious experience. So I want to share this with you so that you can all participate, whoever wants to. If you have the initiations of opening the eyes, you can join us. If you don't, you can. It's organic to the body. You can listen to my recordings, which take you through. They're free. They're on my website, elizabethbjenkins.com. Next to my book, The Fourth Level, there are free downloadable audio files that you can do that lead you through each one of these practices. So you don't have to have anybody there initiating you physically, though it's really nice to do that too, but it's going to be hard to do that these days. So it's available in other forms. Let me just say, to clarify a little bit more, I said the words hucha and nectar, sami and hucha. Hucha is the delineation for energies that are heavier, that may need to be released. When energies get stuck and don't move, hucha, heavy energy, can create illness, unhappiness. It gets stuck. Energy needs to move. That's how it's happy. That's how it maintains its health. So all our practices are about exchanging energy, moving energy, circulating the energy in the belts, circulating the energy with the magnificent nature beings. We call them the Tekse Apus, the global nature beings that everyone on earth has access to the same. And these are encoded right here in our bodies. The mother water in our tail, the mother earth in our belly, Father Sun in our hearts, the Mother Wind, Moon, and Stars in our throats, and the cosmic connection through the three eyes in the head. So, voila.
Can I interrupt just a moment and ask you to take your Zoom off screen sharing, because we're getting a slightly odd view of you right now. That's better. Thank you.
Absolutely. Sorry about that. There we are. Okay, so in a nutshell, what did I miss, ladies?
That was quite comprehensive, Elizabeth. Very, very helpful, I think. And I think for someone who's new to the practices and new to this, it's an incredibly coherent overview of an incredibly, detailed and very, very deep system. So it's remarkable that you're able to put it in words in that way. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Let me say a final thing, that Coyoriti Festival is the place, according to the Inca Prophecy, where the first fifth level initiate is prophesied to appear. Now this happens because, tens of thousands of Paqos of initiated Andean priests from all over come to the Coyorite Festival. It's been largely an indigenous festival for like at least possibly 1,000 years or more that we know of. And lately, in the last 10 years, it's been very highly attended by tourists. That's a new thing. I don't know how many tourists that go to it, since it's at 17,000 feet on a mountain. It's not easy conditions. I don't know how many people attend really know the meaning of Coyorite, and it's like the Mecca for the Andean priests. They go there to renew their vows to the mountain spirit and to thank the Lord of Coyorite for all the abundance in their lives and to play out their ritual dreams. So it makes sense that this is the place where our collective dreaming of human evolution of the fifth level would first occur. And it happens there because of this amazing confluence of human living energy, the power of devotion, the power of that devotion coming together with these very, very powerful nature beings that inhabit the mountains, the Lord of Coyorite, that whole area. This is the womb that allows this evolution of human beings to take place. And this collaboration of human and nature together allows that to be possible. And that's the first of the fifth level. Then there's another 8 places, and they're all big festivals of human devotion at a sacred natural site. So this combination of human and nature energy that allows this next evolution to take place. And that's why the Coyorite Festival is so significant. That's why we're doing a virtual one this year, because there is not a human one taking place due to the current pandemic. So this training is for anyone who wants to participate in that, so you know what to do. And of course, we will go on continuously with this global ops practice of joining ourselves together across the planet during the new and full moons to help with the harmonization of humans and nature, and to do our part to eat the heavy energy that we create, clean up our mess.
Such a beautiful opportunity that we have as humans to contribute in this way. I think it's very empowering for people to hear that there genuinely is something that they can do, and that we don't have to get stuck in the despair and hopelessness as a lot of people do feel when they, we have the capacity to see what's going on around the planet, but not everybody knows that they have the capacity in their own energy systems, in their own bubbles, to actively engage and do their bit. And even if their bit seems really small in this process of coming together, we're actually have an immense capacity to affect change. But there's a question, which is, you've laid out in broad terms how people will engage in this global op, particularly the one that's focused around Coyorite. And I wonder, is it possible to say what skills people should have? What are their requirements in order to be able to go, yes, I want to take part, I can do it? And secondly, if someone maybe thinks, I'm not so sure, I don't know if I've got that, is there anything that they can do?
Yes, beautiful question, Deb. Excellent. Absolutely. If you know the practices of Nyawi Kichai and Chumpi Awai, which is to open the eyes and circulate the belts, you're ready to participate. Especially if you have a really good, strong Hucha Mihui practice. Eating heavy energies and being comfortable with that is important. If you are not there yet, you can certainly participate. We have a beautiful Facebook group, and we're going to have this really fun playing out of our ritual dreams for the Coyorite Festival, where anyone can join doing that and taking a picture of your personal deepest dream and adding that to our collective dream that we're going to energetically send to Koyoriti during this June 5th virtual Koyoriti experience. But if you want to join at any time during any of the other full and new moon ops that will continue on throughout the year, you can simply send your love, your nectar to the group of Paqos that is working on your behalf at every new and full moon, and feel confident that that is really appreciated and well received.
Beautiful, thank you. Yes, it's, I love that there's a capacity for people who have particular skills or trainings to work in a particular way together, but also for the community at large to be able to know that they're contributing to that. And
Absolutely.
also I know that, you know, between the few of us even that I know that have been training and studying in this for a while, quite a lot of us have been sharing what we know and offering trainings, and I know that Ellen does too, and maybe we can continue to help people to embrace these skills and find their own way to contribute.
Wonderful. Absolutely. All right. Thank you, ladies, so much. It's such a pleasure to be with you and to share this beautiful knowledge of the Inca nature wisdom tradition. And thank you to the Quero Indians of Peru for maintaining their traditions and holding to their practices. Thank you. Big, big, big thank you and huge gratefulness to them for keeping this tradition alive over 500 years. And all the Paqos working on the planet now. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Very valuable information. And I hope that everyone who's watched this will feel as though they've got a deeper understanding of where this wisdom tradition comes from, of at least the outline of the relationship between us as humans, our energy body, our energy capacities, and this living world around us. And also either a kind of upgrade of your skills around, oh, that means I can do this, or maybe a vision of, well, at least I can do this and I can progress towards that. So I think that's hugely valuable and a really beautiful sharing to bring to people. And I would just like to say, thank you so much. We should probably add in a couple of links. Elizabeth, your website, elizabethbjenkins.com.
Yes.
The Facebook group is Koyoriti Sacred Play, and Koyoriti begins with a Q, Q-O-L-L-O-R-I-T-I. Yeah, we've got it on the chat, elizabethbjenkins.com. Thank you very much. So that's a place to go for more information. If you want to sign up to participate actively, then elizabethbjenkins.com is a place to go. There's a page on there, you can sign up and you'll get all the information. And unless there's anything else, is there anything else I should have said, need to say?
That'll do it. I think that's good, ladies. Mahalo.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank
you, everyone. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for sharing that. It's so appreciated. Mahalo nui.
Mahalo.
Aloha.